Hi, Dr. Ross. This is our service project presentation, and the CLC members are myself, Don, Joel, and Amber.
So next we're going to talk about the table of contents. During our presentation, each CLC member will go over the organization that he or she volunteered at. Just a side note that because of COVID, 2 of us were not able to actually do in-person volunteering, but we were able to research our organizations and talk to people and get some information about them. We are going to go over why each of us picked that organization, how do they serve the people that they serve, and how do they incorporate servant leadership skills within their service model. We will also go over Greenleaf questions, how our organizations answered those questions, and then lastly, we'll have some takeaways. So I'm going to pass it over to Dawn. She's going to tell you a little bit about Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so the reason why I chose Chick-fil-A other than having good food was that when I went to Chick-fil-A, I always noticed that the team members had excellent customer service. And no matter what city I was in, I always noticed that each team member was polite. So after learning that Chick-fil-A followed the servant leadership model, I wanted to learn more about their policies. And so each team member at Chick-fil-A, they make each customer feel as if they're a personal friend. And the members go above and beyond to take the smallest tasks so the customer will feel like they are a priority. Each team member addresses the customer by yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. And they always exit the conversation with my pleasure when interacting with the customers. When it comes to the community, the Chick-fil-A members, they serve as youth leaders in the community. They feed the hungry and they hold special events to honor the military, as well as fundraisers for local schools. When it comes to Greenleaf's question, the organization believes that it is important to take care of the employees as much as it is to take care of the customers. So they invest in their employees who desire to become leaders by offering them a 2-year scholarship training program. And in 2019, Chick-fil-A gave $19.5 million in scholarships to their employees to further their careers and to further their college goals. Chick-fil-A also helps the least privileged by donating to local foster homes, as well as hosting summer camps for the children in those foster homes to help them in their future development. The servant leadership skills that they use, first the organization replaced the more traditional names from managers to operators and customer service representatives to influencers and leaders and stockholders. This gives the employees a sense that they are a part of the bigger picture and that they matter to the company. Operators also take time to listen to their employees, and they're willing to accommodate any necessary changes in their schedules for school and family emergencies. Operators are not afraid to get involved in the everyday work, and they make it a point to work side by side with their employees. Chick-fil-A also sponsors outside activities for their operators and their team members by building bonds and fellowship by offering company picnics. The takeaway I took from Chick-fil-A is how much that servant leadership plays a part in the success of Chick-fil-A and how the founder's belief has carried on even after he's passed. Servant leadership is a lifestyle for Chick-fil-A, and the reason why the employees are so happy is because the company takes time to invest in putting their employees first. And so the overall thing that I took away was the happy employees will create happy customers, and happy customers will become loyal customers, and the loyal customers will increase the profit for the company, which enables the company to give more to their employees as well as to the community. So that's it. And next I'll pass it on to Amber.
Thanks, Dawn. So I decided to do my research on the Coffee House. The Coffee House is a teen shelter that's open 24 hours a day, 365 65 days a year. They provide respite for families in crisis and family reunification services for local runaways and homeless youth and their families. The Coffee House provides short-term shelter, food, counseling, and referrals for youth and their families. And then what's also really cool, since we have a huge Hispanic community, they also offer all of their services in Spanish as well. Like I said in the beginning, I was not able to actually physically volunteer for the Coffee House, but had I been able to physically volunteer for the Coffee House, I could see myself doing some counseling, some skill building, some assistant with daily living activities. The staff there really make the Coffee House feel like a home. So there's a lot of meal prep that happens together and some family style eating. The above picture on the slide is a actual room that's at the Coffee House. The staff work really hard to make the Coffee House a place that feels safe and warm and caring, and they're providing really amazing services. As far as Greenleaf, the Greenleaf questions, I believe that the Coffee House works really hard to figure out what that young person and their family, if they're still attached to their family, what they need, and they walk them through a process of gaining, more skills or services or support that's necessary to move on to their next journey. There is a lot of professionals within the Coffee House that can help connect either that young person or the family to services. So I believe that everybody that comes to the Coffee House is really a better person when they leave the Coffee House, whether it's the young person, that now feels supported and cared for and heard, or the families that have been struggling to keep their family unit together. I feel like no matter who it is, feels loved and supported going through their program. I feel like servant leadership is at the heart of everything that the Coffee House is doing and providing. I feel like they really care about the young people that come into their organization, and the young people and their families are really at the heart of everything that they do. And you can tell, I was able to talk to one of the staff members there, and you can tell that the staff themselves work very much like a family unit. There's a lot of open and honest and direct communication that happens, and everybody is very transparent and there to really support the cause, which is reunifying young people to their families or just supporting that young person. As far as takeaways, first of all, I just didn't know that anything like this existed in Santa Rosa. And I just think it's really amazing that we have such a great support system in the Coffee House where, young people can go there and gain the skills and the support that they need in order to move on from there, and same thing with their families. So it was a pleasure to learn about it and to talk to people who work there. Next, I'm going to pass it on to Joel.
Thank you, Amber.
Oh, 1 second. Sorry, guys. Okay.
Perfect. All right. I'm in the United States Marine Corps, and I am a volunteer for the funeral detail. The point of this is to honor the Marines who have lost their lives. This is how we get to pay our respects to our fallen Marines and also to their families. We put plenty of time into rehearsing each funeral just so that the family wants it. If the family does not have any preferences on how we do it, we still rehearse this until we know that it's going to be perfect when it comes time to do it. We're here to honor this Marine and their family. Presenting the flag to the family at the end of the service is always a special moment. They're always so grateful for us and what we do despite the difficult circumstances. Although this never gets easier, it's worth it in the end knowing how much the family appreciates exactly what we do. Whenever we are called to do a funeral, the service will range anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. Yes, Greenleaf's questions were met. The family has the opportunity to gain closure with a heartfelt send-off to pay their final respects. After knowing what we do more on a personal level, this inspires others to cherish their time with their loved ones and never take anything for granted. At the same time, we're also modeling behavior and honoring those who have done these great things. The ceremony that is provided at the funeral is of course free of charge, so that way we don't have to add to their burden. One main leadership skill is commitment. Every Marine has to volunteer in order to be part of the funeral detail. There's a lot of preparation that happens before, after work, and as well as the weekends. These events, as well as practice, are taken very seriously so that we can honor this fallen Marine and their family. Our practices are 1 to 2 hours, and we do this twice a week. During practice, we're going to go through our sword detail, our rifle detail, our formations and marching, and then finally folding the flag and going through the process as if we're presenting it to the family. When we do present it to the family, we have to memorize a short message. Message goes like this: on behalf of the President of the United States Marine Corps, and our grateful nation, please accept this flag as a symbol of your loved one's honorable and faithful service. The most significant takeaway is experiencing the appreciation of the family felt after we held this ceremony for them. This time is never easy for anyone. So when they come up to you and they give you that hug, shake your hand, or just a simple thank you with that tear in their eye, it makes all that hard work that we just did pay off. And lastly, we have our references. Right here, you're going to see all of our references on what Amber, Don, and I chose to either do the volunteer or do the research on the volunteering.
And lastly, we want to say thank you for checking out our presentation. I think that we all learned a lot about the organization that we chose, and I think it was a lot of fun putting it together and learning how servant leadership is involved in all that our organizations do.